What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and our friends over at Steam Forged Games have sent us over two new books. Well, soon to be released books. First is the Strangelight Workshop sort of campaign setting and guide, as well as the Spectronomicon, which is the monster book. So these are new books, but they're in a setting that's existed for almost maybe even more than 20 years at this point. It's part of the award-winning Iron Kingdom campaign setting of books. This came out back in, I believe, 2004 originally from Privateer Press. And basically, what they call this is full metal fantasy. So, this is very kind of pulpy. The text in the book is fonted to look almost like it's like a typewriter. You can see we kind of have docket information and stuff on the back here. So, this is the main kind of campaign setting. So I'll read to you what it says. Award-winning steampunk campaign setting, 5e compatible, riveting paranormal investigations, peculiar and intriguing classes and ancestries, unique character essence system, spectral haunting system, 70 plus creature busting spells, innovative gear, and then character sheet templates. So I did a flip through the book, and as it will kind of see if you can kind of get an idea. I don't really know. Let me get to a page with some art on it, maybe. You can kind of see, right? It's like typewriter font, and it is fully 5e compatible, but it is kind of set in its own world, so it has some tweaks. You're going to have a handful of different ancestries, backgrounds. We have, what do we have? 6 classes. We have the Arcanist, the Bouncer, the Caller, the Investigator, the Jammer, and the Strangelight Mechanic. And you can kind of figure out a little bit about what these are, but I actually really like the sort of flavor and the lore around a lot of these different options. We have a ton of really interesting feat options, a bunch of backgrounds, and then I think some places where it really shines are the equipment, right? Because it's steampunk, so that obviously means like cool, interesting weapons and armor and things of that nature. See if I can find one of my favorite ones was the cannon shield, which is quite literally just a shield with a cannon embedded in the mirror. Is it 275? Um, yeah, the cannon shield. So functions like a shield, but also is a ranged weapon that could just fire a cannonball right out the middle. Yeah. So either way, the book comes in here at around a little over 300 pages. And then also something that I think is definitely one, Spectronomicon, excellent name for a book. And it has 80 plus nightmarish creatures inside here with lore. And I guess we could show off some of, again, we have the artwork, we have sort of like the case file document style for the history and the kind of lore behind it. And then just, traditional 5e stat blocks on the bottom. But let's go ahead and take a look at the sort of pre-order page, right? Welcome to the Strangelight Workshop. Start your career with Strangelight Workshop today. Are you intrigued by occult and otherworldly? Join the Strangelight team. For as long as humanity has existed, we've huddled by the firelight, trembling at the unknown horrors and that skulk beyond the shadows. So here you can see again the Strangelight Workshop and the Spectronomicon. Your assignment, should you choose to accept it, is to assemble a team of agents. Using peculiar prototype technology, quick thinking, and often unorthodox methods, you'll explore all manner of paranormal case files, from the rationally explicable to the downright bizarre. If someone has a strange problem, you'll have an even stranger solution. So, from the award-winning Iron Kingdoms RPG setting comes Strangelight Workshop, 5e compatible role-playing game of occult investigations. So here you can see the pre-order here for the main core book itself is $44.99. And then the Spectronomicon, which is a little bit thinner, which is the monster book, here is $34.99. It says all agents are responsible for their own possessions. If you become possessed, it's your own fault. And again, we can scroll down and see some more. And there's actually a playthrough right here, so you can go ahead and check that out. But there also is a fun little website here. It says the Strangelight. I'll put the links to these. By the way, this is a tracking link, so if you go and pick it up from that, it'll let the Steam Forge game folks know that you came from Nerd Immersion. And then there is also this other website that I will link, which is, it says, "The Strangelight Workshop needs you. Welcome, agent. Glad you could make it. Can you crack the code and begin your journey with the Strangelight Workshop?" And I will cover that a little bit more in a second, but I did want to just talk to you real quick about some of the monsters in here. So, um, there's one specifically that is, the name is just perfect. So we have Infernals, Grimkin, and Spirits and Undead. And they have a variety of different options here, but where is it? Ah, one of the ones that called out to me immediately, the Clockatrice. The Clockatrice is a nightmarish fusion of mechanical engineering and bestial forms. Its body is an intricate assembly of gears and mechanisms that mimic a living creature. So it's going to function in a lot of ways similar to a cockatrice, but with some other unique mechanical horror options tied to it. For example, it's mechanical, so it's got an auto repair function. It has a death gaze as opposed to a petrification, and then it can also have some miniature sort of time warping effects around it to kind of slow, your characters. And then it can it has a reaction called Time Stutter. If it takes damage that would reduce it to half of its hit points or fewer, it can use a reaction to teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space. So, again, not exactly the same as a traditional cockatrice without that petrification, but it's got a death stare, which does a bunch of force damage. So, I just wanted to take the time and thank the folks over at Steam Forged Games for sending these over. There's definitely a lot of cool stuff in here, and I have to take a little more time to dive into them fully to see what kind of we can tease out going forward. But this was actually my first introduction to the Iron Kingdoms series, and that, it even existed. So I'm excited to learn more about the history and see more about this. This is definitely like a steampunk supernatural Ghostbusters kind of vibe to it. And that's right up my alley. So let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And I'll also let you know that that website that I mentioned to you, you'll be looking to crack a code with things that you can find between myself and other content creators in the space that are covering Strangelight Workshop. There's a secret code that can be deciphered, that can be entered in there if you're smart enough to figure all that out between myself and any of the other videos out there. So, anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.